I like the look of this launcher. Ooh, a built-in manual. I love to see that. Welcome to the finale of Bezwigi Season 2. Today we're beating Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire, which is sort of a last hurrah for great 2D Star Wars games, because after this one, 3D becomes the standard for new games. Episode 2, The Hidden Empire. By destroying the Death Star, Rebel forces proved themselves a serious threat to the Galactic Empire. Darth Vader, enraged by his defeat, became obsessed with the Alliance's elimination. Toward the end, the forces have something. The text is too small for me to read now. So, if you're not already aware, Star Wars Rebel Assault has a very similar story to Episode 4, A New Hope, except it takes place in an alternate timeline where Luke Skywalker is replaced by the player, Rookie 1. I'm not sure exactly what the sequel is about, but this game is probably still about Rookie 1. It's probably not going to fit in with the rest of the original trilogy lore-wise, but it should be pretty good on its own.
You wanted to speak with me, Admiral.
Ah, yes. Tell your men I want no slip-up. The demonstration shall proceed flawlessly. Am I understood?
Yes, of course, sir. They'll be ready.
Good. Carry on. The rebel fighters are in range, my lord. Sigma Squadron stands ready, awaiting your command.
Very well, Admiral. Engage the rebels.
Nothing on my scanners, Commander.
Copy that. Gen to patrol? Doesn't seem to be anything out here.
I think this sector's secure. Let's take one more path and get back to base.
I hear you. And let's make it quick. I don't want to stay out here a second longer than necessary.
What's the matter, Till? Don't tell me a hotshot pilot like you's afraid of the Dryden Triangle.
No. I'm not saying I believe in ghost ships or anything, but...
You've got to admit there's been a lot of unexplained happenings in these parts for the last 40 years since the Battle of Dryden. I mean, how can so many...
What are you doing? Watch it!
Rebel Control, emergency. We're under attack. Can you read us? Is there anybody out there?
Well, that was sudden.
As you can see, Lord Vader, the units perform admirably. In fact, I think the whole project has proved quite impressive. Why, in a few years...
What I see, Admiral Son, is just another one of your endless tests. I will not be impressed until I have, under my command, the full power to crush the Rebel Alliance.
Well, Lord Vader, if trends are anything to go by, my job in this game is to prevent you from obtaining that power. Oh, there's a chapter select in this one. That's nice. That makes it easier to continue than remembering level passwords. Chapter 1, The Dryden Triangle, which, from what I can gather, is the Star Wars equivalent to the Bermuda Triangle.
Can't make it out, Commander.
Hailing vessel, repeat your message. We read you, but you're breaking up.
Repeat, this cargo vessel Corellia Star. We are under attack from Imperial fighters.
Clear information is advised to the Alliance. The Empire has hidden my... new weapon. Darth Vader intends to destroy the Alliance.
Repeat your message, Corellia.
Rebel Control, we haven't time. They're boarding us.
Okay, kid. Stay sharp. Watch your scanners for Imperial vessels.
Too late, they've already seen us.
I'm picking up a Womp Rat's nest of TIE fighters at 042 Mark III. They're headed our way.
Copy that. Switch to attack mode.
Vader 229 Mark 4.
So, we're taking on TIE fighters with a couple of B-Wings. Cool, but the type of craft doesn't really matter much in this kind of game. Oh no, my joystick isn't working! It's set to mouse control for some reason. That's fine, I can use the mouse. I'm sure it's not as bad as mouse control from the first game. The video quality definitely looks better in comparison. I like the red haze in the distance. It looks pretty. I'm not sure what would cause that, but I'll take it over a blank sheet of stars.
There's one breaking off from the rest. I see him. This one's mine. Cover for me. Copy that.
Yes, copy that, over and out, all the radio terms. I think I've done a good job at shooting down all the ties in front of me so far.
Good job, kid. Now let's go find that freighter. Stay alert. We lost a patrol in this sector 3 days ago.
I've also got a funny feeling about those ties we encountered.
I know, me too. There's no way they could have gotten from the freighter to us so quickly. Maybe it's true what they say.
Now don't start telling me any phantom fighter tales. Jeez, you farm boys will believe anything you hear.
Wait, I've got a fix on an emergency distress beacon. It's on a civilian channel. It might be the Corellians.
Where'd they come from? Rookie One, do you copy? Are you all right?
Rookie One, come in. Can you hear me? I'm still here, but I'm in bad shape. I can't hold it.
I'm going down!
Eject, kid, eject.
That's 2 surprise attacks in a very short amount of time. They must be using cloaking shields or something. Am I still playing as Rookie One? The game hasn't said so far.
Post Alpha, report.
All's clear, sir. Nothing here but sand leeches and claw mice.
Good. Stay alert. Sensors tracked a rebel ship going down to this sector. They probably didn't survive, but you never know.
Yeah, right.
This is exactly like the opening to that Hoth level in Rebel Assault 1. I'm glad I get to do an on-foot section so early. That was my favorite part in the first game. Alright. Oh, this is cool. Leaning out of cover like this is much more advanced than the side shuffling from before. It's kind of easy when there's only 2 places for the stormtroopers to spawn. But this game was made out of FMV sequences, so there isn't a lot they could do variety-wise. That isn't a bad thing. It gives the game a sense of charm in its own way. Also, I'm just a big fan of rail shooter games like this. More specifically, I enjoy point-and-shoot light gun games. They're my go-to whenever I go to an arcade that has some. Although I don't physically go to arcades much anymore. I think I'll have to find one near me with some of the Star Wars arcade games eventually, but that's a problem for future me. Okay, choosing which way I lean out of cover is insanely cool. What am I tracking? Oh, the Corellian freighter. Right, yeah. I wonder if the pilot is dead.
Unauthorized activity in section 14B.
Where am I going? The mining tunnels? That's interesting. Oh no, not one of these third-person behind-the-ship sections. They were terrible in the first game. And it seems like the controls are just as jerky in this one, too. It seems like the ship doesn't take as much damage when hitting the walls as it used to. That's helpful, but the controls kinda outweigh the benefits. And there I go. From my understanding, these Corellian freighters are quite large, so this has to be a tight fit. These pipes are not easy to dodge.
Did you hear something? Nah, it's probably just some loose rock or something. I'm sure it's nothing important.
Yeah, a rebel infiltrating your base, killing your men, and crashing a captured ship into the mining tunnels. Definitely not important. Well, time to see if the chapter select saves my progress after a game over. Cool. That'll make this game less painful to beat than some of the others I've played for this series. I always appreciate when a game has a lenient retry system. I like to be challenged, but I don't like dying and having to redo large parts of a game that I've already done. I'll get a handle on these controls eventually. The trick is to do very tiny movements. Why did it suddenly jerk to the left against the wall there? I really hope there aren't more sections like this in the game. I'm sure there will be, I just hope that there won't. The terrible flight controls are the only thing so far that the first and second games have in common. That's not true, technically. There's a lot in common. I wonder why the hangar bay leads directly to these mining tunnels. I guess it makes sense if they get a new shipment of mining equipment and have to bring it directly to the mining area. Still, is this really the best course of action? To fly through the tight tunnels and, what, hope that there's an exit on the other side? Because that's not guaranteed. Rookie 1 didn't even try to blow open the blast door. Although, the point of a blast door is that it can't be blasted open. Still, maybe the Corellia Star had some heavy bombs on board or something. It might have been worth checking. Hooray! I made it out! Oh wait, never mind. This chapter isn't over yet. Well, I like this first-person style of play more than the third-person style of play, so I should be able to finish this section without too much trouble. I just realized that I'm not being chased, which is good because this ship must not be very fast. I know it looks like the Millennium Falcon, but this is the Corellia Star, which is nomenclaturally distinct. If it were the Falcon, the pilot wouldn't have been boarded in the first place. Uh-oh. Ah! I didn't get the laser gate shot down in time. It didn't matter anyway, because I barely took any damage from it. Oops, I guess I'm supposed to be steering now. The game isn't clear on when the limited steering matters versus when it doesn't. There we go. Escaping the Empire is just that easy. Ah, yeah, there's the difference between a Star Destroyer and a Super Star Destroyer. These are both absolutely massive ships.
Your report, Admiral Son. I trust the operation is proceeding as planned.
Yes, Lord Vader. The field tests have been completed. In 12 hours, a fleet will stand ready at Imdar Alpha, where they'll be poised to lay waste to the rebels.
Then I will look forward to witnessing our victory. Make way to Imdar Alpha.
As you command, my lord.
Can't say I remember no Imdar Alpha.
We have recovered the mission recorders from the Corellian cargo vessel.
You're welcome, by the way.
Play the full distress message sent from its pilot during the attack. If you'll observe.
We've discovered information that's vital to the Alliance. The Empire has a hidden mining facility in the Belt of Ara. They're processing iridium ore to fuel some new weapon. Whatever it is, Darth Vader intends to use it to destroy the Alliance. Hurry, Rebel Patrol, we haven't much time. They're boarding us. Ah!
I'm placing the fleet on red alert and dispatching a strike team to the Dryden Nebula. Its mission, investigate the Belt of Ara. Find the Imperial complex and disable its production capacity. Get to your fighters. And may the Force be with you.
The Empire is always building new super weapons. You'd think they'd find a way to stop them from being blown up at this point.
Strike team, this is Rascal 1. Check in.
Rascal 2, standing by.
Rascal 3, standing by.
Good. Keep information. The perimeter is littered with beryllium mines. We'll have to wind our way through the asteroids and blast any mines we encounter.
It might get a little rough. But any easier and it just wouldn't be any fun.
Copy that, Ace. We're with you.
I disagree with what Ace said. I think easy things can be fun given the right mindset. I mean, sometimes it's nice to relax with something that doesn't require a lot of effort instead of being pushed to the limit of your abilities. It's about balance, I guess. Also, this asteroid field looks very dense. There's a lot of asteroids.
Watch it, Rookie 1. One's gonna lock on you. Copy that.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. It's nice to finally be called Rookie 1, though. It's good to have that confirmed, finally.
Watch your starboard side.
Which side is starboard again? I know the difference between starboard and port on, like, cruise ships or pirate ships. What are they called? Waterbound vessels? Is it the same for spaceships?
Good shooting. See, I told you it'd be fun.
Yeah, thanks, Merrick. I had a ball. Can we go again?
No, thank you. Asteroid fields are very dangerous, you know. I'm not even sure why we had to fly through that one.
Okay, we've broken through the outer perimeter, but the party's not over yet.
Well, don't look now.
But here comes the entertainment. I read a whole swarm of Matai interceptors directly ahead.
Copy that. Space 18. Here we go. Rookie 1. I'm taking the one at 623. Cover for me. Copy that.
Yeah, I can cover for you, but I'm being shot. Wow, the shields on this ship must be really good because the damage is going up very slowly. I guess I won't complain about that. It's nice that these TIE interceptors only take a single shot, well, a single firing of dual laser blasts to destroy.
Rookie 1 behind you.
How do I look behind me?
There's one on my tail. He's got a lock.
I recognize that footage.
Thanks, Reese. Saved me from becoming space debris.
Good old Reese. I can always count on her to watch my back.
Doing my job. Besides, I try not to litter.
Well, litter you have, because nobody is going to pick up all that space debris we're leaving behind.
I've got a read on a large structure on one of the asteroids ahead. It looks like some kind of ore processing plant.
Hey, that's what we were sent to destroy.
But it's bigger than anything I've ever seen before. Arm your laser turrets. Follow me.
We'll take out the cooling system. Without it, the reactor will go critical.
Hopefully after we've gotten out.
Wow, flying into a structure to blow it up from the inside? What a great plan! It's so genius, I doubt anyone else would ever think of it. I wish I could fly a little slower so I could actually shoot all of these targets on a single pass. And that was a stormtrooper I just took out. Poor Stormy. It's not exactly fair to be shot by an X-Wing while inside a facility. Okay, shields are down. We're going in.
Watch out for sentry guns. They take out any floating debris.
You got it, boss. Unfortunately, I might be about to turn into space debris. I'm hit! Which excavator? The one we've been flying around for the last 90 seconds? Sounds like a good plan to me. I missed one of them, though. I hope that's enough to destroy the facility. Okay. Where is that explosion coming from? There's no way that shooting the exhaust fans caused that. Did one of you drop a bomb? I know I didn't. It doesn't matter. The point is that we successfully blew up the factory.
Good shooting, team. Okay, let's go home. Preparing for hyperspace.
Transferring coordinates from the nav computer.
Ace!
No, not Ace. Blast. No, not Reese. Blast. I'll be fine because I have plot armor. I'll make sure your deaths are reported to the Alliance.
Analysis of these flight recordings has identified the attackers as modified V-38 assault fighters. These particular craft have a capability previously unheard of for ships their size. The ability to evade sensors and scanners, rendering them effectively invisible.
And the myths about the Dryden Triangle made a perfect cover for their tests.
Obviously, with a fleet of such vessels, Darth Vader could devastate our forces with near impunity. The only question is where he'll make his next move. For weeks, our intelligence has reported unusually high levels of Imperial fleet activity here, in the vicinity of the planet Imdar and its moon. The command ship Terror is en route to Imdar, where it will likely deploy a full wing of the Phantom V-38s. We have, however, a plan to stop them. A pilot has volunteered to rendezvous with our agent on the planet's surface. The two of them will infiltrate the planetary supply base, board the Terror, and retrieve one of the Phantom ships for study. Hopefully, countermeasures can be found before it's too late. Rookie 1, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Report to Ops. May the Force be with you.
This is Rebel Control. Begin when ready.
Okay, pay attention, kid. This is Admiral Crane.
Due to the importance of this mission, I'm training you myself.
Stay alert.
I copy. Should be just like back home.
Don't be getting cocky on me, kid. You're doing okay, but you're not in a fancy X-Wing fighter anymore. These are standard class Imperial TIE fighters, and there's a reason why we haven't captured too many of these intact. They don't have shields, so they can't take much abuse.
If you're gonna make it through okay, you gotta learn to think like the Imperial bucketheads. Just follow my lead, and do as I say.
Oh, another third-person section.
Good. Now just do as I do.
At least these canyon walls are wider than those mining tunnels. And the ship is smaller, too. Huh? What just happened? Why did we go into the fog? I noticed you did a little spin when going into the fog, so I can't exactly do exactly what you're doing. Okay. What? Oh, come on. I thought we were finished. Pulling up like that was the end of every other training session in the first game.
Crane to base, I'm coming in. You gotta stop sending me these kids. I'm running out of TIE fighters.
If you're so concerned with your captured TIE fighters being destroyed, pick a different spot to train your pilots. But no, we have to make them go super fast through dangerous canyons with fog and tight walls as a first training exercise. Oh, it keeps my score after a game over. I didn't realize that.
Splendid flying, Rookie One. You do the Emperor proud. Return to base.
The Y-Wing should be prepped and ready for your flight to Imdar. Rebel Control, this is Escort Leader on approach to Imdar. Target range 1.90.
All systems operational. No contacts to report. Sensors. Wait. Long-range sensors just picked up a flight group at 723 Mark IV. Configuration looks Imperial.
Copy that. I have confirmation of 9, 10, over a dozen interceptor-class fighters. This might get a little rough.
Beginning to attack formation. Regs to the left. Rookie One to the right.
I copy. I'm in position. Here they come.
Hold up. If I'm going to steal one of the new TIE fighters, why are we flying in 3 ships? Who's going to take mine back? There's no way 3 Y-Wings would actually be able to take on this many TIE interceptors and win, right? Yeah, team, it's easy. Just point your lasers and shoot.
You can't shake me this time, Buckethead. Well done, team. Rookie One, continue to SETI 597. This is as far as we go. A lone ship will have a better chance getting through the defense shield.
I'll see you at the rendezvous point after the mission. May the Force be with you.
Wait, hold on, what now? Am I sneaking past the defense shield? That's the only reason I could think of that would make sense for 1 person to get through being easier than for 3 people. But we just shot down a bunch of ships. They definitely know I'm coming. And a Y-Wing isn't exactly stealthy. Another minefield inside an asteroid field. Why? That's one of the stupidest places to put mines. Asteroid fields aren't meant to be traveled through in the first place. The only reason anybody should purposefully pilot a ship into an asteroid field is if they have no other choice. Like when Han did it to evade the Empire when his hyperdrive didn't work. I think it's fine for really good pilots to be able to fly through them, but it just irritates me when it's done like this. What is the reason for Rookie One to be flying through this minefield right now? There's plenty of open space all around here. I don't see why he wouldn't just use his sublight engines to go around the field. Look at how much empty space is around the planet. Just approach from any other angle. I get the concept of hyperspace lanes and why you can't hyperspace to a specific side of a planet, I think. And it makes sense to me that a planet could have sensors all around it, so that if it's being blockaded or something, that ships can't easily get in and out of a system. I don't know what I'm talking about. But in Sublight, you should be able to go in any direction in space. There's like no limitations there.
Rookie One, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Who are you? Speeder bikes. Blast it. Speeder bike sections always suck.
Rumerline, I didn't expect to find the likes of you here. How'd you end up on Imdar?
After the Battle of Yavin, I was assigned here to monitor Imperial activity. I knew there was something fishy going on, but it was only recently that I got word of the Phantom Fighters. Now, I think I can get us transportation on a cargo shuttle, but the landing platform's on the other side of this swamp. So we better hurry. The command ship will be here soon. We need to get up there before Vader can unleash those fighters.
Well, I'm glad we got to reunite with Rue Merlin, at least. I still have a bad feeling about this part, though. Yep, it's a janky third-person level. Great. I was stuck for a long time on that first mining tunnel area, and for a really long time on that TIE training section, so I'm probably going to be stuck here for a long time, too.
Take out the Minox.
Minox? Why are they a threat? We're flying speeder bikes through a swamp. It's not like they could chew on our power cables at the moment.
Whoa, that was close.
You said it, Rue. Can I call you Rue? Or do I have to say the full Rue Merlin every time?
We're almost there.
I hope we're almost there, because I'm almost destroyed. Never mind, I am destroyed.
Look out!
What do you mean, look out? You need to be more specific, Rue. Well, we're done here, so whatever.
How do we get past those guards?
Just leave that to me.
What do you have planned, Rue Merlin?
How long do you think before those guards come to?
Oh,
They'll be out for at least a few hours.
I would have liked to see you knock out the guards.
Odd. These are the right coordinates. Where is it?
Is it cloaked?
Docking control. This is Supply Shuttle Epsilon 4. Request clearance to come aboard.
Transmit security code Epsilon.
Transmitting.
Clearance granted, Epsilon. Approach portside hangar 3.
Copy that control. Epsilon out.
Well, they didn't blow us away yet. That's a good sign.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yep, here we are, 2 rebel spies in the heart of an Imperial command ship, surrounded by the Emperor's proudest. Sounds good to me. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. The Terror. That's a cool name for a ship.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Shut up.
I understood that reference.
Hold it! You two, what are you doing here? This is a restricted area. Where are your clearances?
We've been ordered to search the area for any intruders.
I've heard no such orders. Under whose authority?
Which way to the hangar?
Hey!
Intruder alert. Sector 4, section 14. Repeat, intruder alert. Sector 4, section 14.
The door's sealed. What do we do now?
Hold on. I think I can force a manual override.
This is an interesting perspective. I have the low ground. Is this the first game that lets the player play as a disguised stormtrooper? Yeah, I think it is. I'm a little surprised it took this long, since that's such an important part of A New Hope. I like using my enemies' weapons against them.
Okay, I think I've got it. It's open. Let's go. Watch out!
I really like how they made blaster marks show up when shooting the walls. That's a nice attention to detail.
I think I got them all. Okay, then we're clear. Move on.
The bridge is out. What do we do?
I don't know. Improvise.
We could keep taking inspiration from the movie if we have a grappling hook on our utility belts. We should definitely make sure that there's nobody shooting at us, no matter what we end up doing. Whoa, they're throwing bombs! Quick, hide! Oh, maybe hiding wasn't the right choice. I should probably stay in cover and let my damage heal at this point. I haven't actually noticed whether it heals automatically in this game, but that's how it worked in the first one. It should work the same, but it might not, since this game gives you more health overall. I've waited for 3 minutes now, and I have not healed a single bar of damage. I guess I have to stay in cover more often so I don't take as much damage in this level. I'm pretty sure I have to shoot down these thermal detonators, though. The explosions still reach me in cover, which makes sense. They're explosions. I can't even see the stormtrooper on the far right when I'm in cover. I don't think we're getting out of this one alive, Rue. If I had extra lives, I could do it for sure. Maybe if I beat the last level again with lives to spare, it would give me some on this one? Oh no, every chapter has a set number of pilots. It says there on the bottom of the screen. Sadly, chapter 11 only has 1 pilots. I wish that meant 1 extra pilot instead of 1 pilot period. These bombs are not easy to shoot down. Hello? Where are the enemies? Oh, that's all I had to do. How long ago could I have done that? You'll never find us in the garbage disposal. I'm assuming that's where we went.
There's no sign of them. They must have gone on to M level.
Lord Vader, docking maneuvers complete. Alpha Control awaits your command.
I see. And our unwelcome guests?
Ah, we've temporarily lost them.
Put all decks on red alert. Double the search patrols. There'll be no one to stop us this time.
Yes, Lord Vader.
The sewer. Every good game has one. Sewer levels are one of those you have to take the good with the bad kind of things.
Darker than Sarlacc's belly down here. Turn on your night vision. And hurry. They won't be far behind. Watch your step. They're following us. Take the ones ahead. I'll cover the rear.
Is that the same Stormtrooper rifle sprite they used for Dark Forces? It looks very similar if it isn't the exact same. It's pointed at the same angle at least. Also, I was previously unaware that the standard Stormtrooper helmet had a night vision mode. That's an interesting inclusion.
Good. Move on.
Which way to the hangar?
This way, I think. No, wait. It's this way.
I have a bad feeling about this.
This level feels like a classic light gun game. I mean, with the first-person point-of-view camera that moves down a hallway and then stops to shoot enemies and then rinse and repeat. I wonder what all the symbols on the screen mean. It's probably some boring status HUD readout.
I think I got him. The path's blocked. We'll have to go around.
I copy. I'm right behind you.
Wait a minute, my damage is healing itself now. How come it didn't heal over time during the previous chapter? I think I'm cooked here either way. At least I have an extra pilot life.
We're underneath the service hangar. We need to get up above. There's a freight elevator on the left. We must be close. Head that way.
There's someone coming down.
Huh? Ah, you tricked me for a second. I thought it was a fake out. How many troopers could there be here? The elevator doesn't look that big.
That's our way out of here. Let's go. I hope no one's expecting us up there.
Yeah, me too. I'm almost dead.
Trooper!
Yes, sir.
Be on the lookout for anything unusual.
Yes, sir. It's been all clear here. Nothing to report.
Good. But stay alert. Screw up one more time, I'll have you transferred to a refuse barge where you'll stay for the next 20 years.
Yes, sir. Not to worry. Absolutely nothing will go unnoticed on my shift.
Very well.
And we're just right behind them. Okay, so now I get to put that TIE fighter training to good use, finally.
So far, so good. Can you fly this thing?
I think so.
Wait, what? Rookie 1, you were trained to fly this thing.
There. That ought to do it. Now, let's see what this baby can do.
Where's that one going? Haven't these ships already been serviced?
Look out!
That's hilarious. Oof, 28% accuracy. I need to get better at shooting things.
They're closing the hangar doors.
Turn around. We'll have to fly out from the superstructure.
Sorry, what was that? It's hard to hear you over all this noise.
Take out the shield generator.
I'm way ahead of you, Rue. Although I'm not sure why I'm in the gunner's seat. We'll discuss that later. I just barely missed that one. I wasn't sure whether to go up or down there. I blame Rue Merlin's flying.
Did you hear something? I'm sure it's nothing important.
Aw, come on, game. You already made that joke in a different death cutscene. Are we going up again? No, I guess not. A little more direction hinting would be nice. It's not super obvious which direction these movies play out on the first go-around. Please tell me we're near the end. We can't take any more damage.
I think we're headed toward the main reactor.
That's convenient. We can blow the ship up on our way out. That's what the imps get for closing the hangar doors on us.
Shoot out the beam focusers. The reactor should go critical and blow, taking this ship and all these galactic fighters with it.
I think I'm actually going to make it. I'm surprised I didn't die. I had maximum damage that entire time I was in the reactor. Where's the explosion? I was told there would be an explosion. That's not very impressive as far as explosions go.
Great. Looks like we're clear.
Yeah, I'm plotting a course for the rendezvous point.
Scanners are picking up something strange. I can't get a firm fix on anything.
Oh no!
How'd they get out in front of us?
That's a good question. Maybe there's another ship?
Rearm the laser cannon. This isn't gonna be easy. Here they come.
I can't tell where they're coming from.
Watch it. They're coming in fast.
They might be coming in fast, but I'm coming in faster.
Targets 02, 2, 8, and 9.
Those numbers are meaningless to me. I don't have a targeting computer. I'm literally just eyeballing it. It's kind of hard to hit them when they're blinking in and out of existence. Why aren't we using our cloaking shield like they are? We could probably use it to sneak away without fighting at all, actually. Once we get this ship back to Alliance headquarters, they can probably reverse engineer the cloaking shield and find a way to detect it using normal sensors. At least, I think that was the plan. I don't know why else we would steal a fighter. If we could make the technology obsolete, then the Empire doesn't have an advantage anymore. We did it! They're all dead!
It takes much more of this.
Hold on, I'm still trying the cloaking field. Wait. I got it working.
Ah, you were trying the cloaking field the entire time. I'm sorry for assuming you weren't.
We cannot control the damage elevator. The reactor core could go critical at any time.
Disengage from space dock.
We cannot, my lord. Docking controls are inoperative.
Then I must leave here on my own. You have failed me for the last time. opportunity to do so again.
That's kind of unnecessary, Lord Vader. The ship is about to explode anyway. That officer was dead no matter what. Also, space dock? You were docked to something? Wow, that is an awesome cloaking shield.
That's where they're making the Phantom ties. There must be thousands of them in there. If we don't do something about them, it doesn't matter if we get this thing home or not.
Why?
What do you have in mind?
Maybe it's better if you don't know.
Just hang on and don't let go of those blaster controls.
I don't like the looks of this, Rue.
It's our only chance.
That's twice now you had a plan and decided not to share it, Rue Merlene. Withholding plan information is dumb. That's always going to get more people killed than necessary. It seems like your plan is, once again, the classic blow up the main reactor. I still disagree that this is necessary, but blowing up the factory would be a helpful blow against the Empire. When we were dogfighting in space, it was just destroying the ships, but here there's bound to be a lot more equipment and personnel. We should have gotten out while we still could have, in my opinion. You're lucky I'm not the one flying, because we would be gone. This room looks important. Looks like we did it correctly. Whatever that means.
There, we've sat down.
All right, it's time to be welcomed as heroes, and to get out of this stormtrooper armor, of course.
Oh, kid, I didn't think you had it in you.
Thank you, sir.
Looks like the Alliance owes you a debt of gratitude. Without the advantage of their Phantom fleet, the Empire will have to face us on equal ground. Once again, you've saved us all.
That's what I'm here for.
You even faced a little competition. I guess that entitles you to this.
It seems a bit strange to be pinning that to this armor, but thanks for the medal, I guess. Oh, does that feel like it comes out of nowhere to anyone else? And that was Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire. I guess we now know that the Empire was hidden because of cloaking shields, which to have been put on a craft as small as a TIE Interceptor is quite impressive, I think. Well, that was fun. Gameplay-wise, it's definitely an improvement over Rebel Assault 1. I'm sort of artificially drawing a line here by calling this the end of the 2D era of games, but I have good reason for it. Rebel Assault 2 came out for DOS in 1995. There were technically 3D consoles and games before 1996, but the Nintendo 64 came out in 1996, and I consider that the turning point where 3D games become the industry standard for top quality releases. 2D games still exist after this, but they're mostly relegated to handheld games that don't receive the full AAA treatment. Fully texture mapped, modern 3D engines start with Shadows of the Empire, which is what I'm playing next, after I take a short break to rank every game so far.
The rebels have eliminated your invincible fleet.
Yes, my master. The rebels have proven surprisingly clever. But we are not defeated.
that's cool. I wasn't expecting a post-credit scene.
So what's gonna happen to our little ghost ship there?
Our engineers are coming to examine it. I assume they'll try to adapt its technology to our own fighters.
And we blew up all their Phantom ships, so...
Right. So for a change, we might have the advantage over the Empire. The next time we go into battle.
You spoke too soon, lol. I wonder why there wasn't a Rebel Assault 3. These were good games.